Welcome back to the second hour of this week's edition of World Crisis Radio. And Webster Tarpley here as usual in Washington, D.C. And now has become institutionalized custom here. We're going to change gears. We're going to turn away from the financial crash and the second wave of the Depression and the German derivatives ban here for just a minute and look back to the constitutional defense front, that pesky question of the constitutional incapacity of Obama to serve as president of the United States and everything that this implies, the constitutional crisis of our times. In other words, no better source than Phil Berg of Philadelphia, distinguished attorney, former Assistant Attorney General of Pennsylvania, former candidate for governor, senator on the Democratic line there in Pennsylvania. So welcome, Phil. What's the update?
Well, my pleasure. Right now we're working on a new date for our march. The reason I told you, and we've been trying to get out to everyone, is the reason we continued the march, which had been scheduled for Memorial Day weekend, was that other groups have contacted us, and they needed more time, and they wanted to participate. So we're looking to have this probably early September. We'll get a date out very soon, but it's really imperative that everyone be listening for it and watching for the date and then spreading the word. I would like to draw 2 million people to Washington. This issue is really unconscionable that we have someone in office who's a phony, a fraud, a usurper. Obama put forth the biggest hoax against the United States of America. He's, as we all know, he's been going around the world apologizing to the United States, bowing to the Saudi king, bowing to the Japanese empire, bowing to the leader of China. This is not what an American president should do who really is concerned about us, the citizens of this country. So the big question is he constitutionally eligible to be president? The answer is no. And the answer is, we now have statements coming out from during the campaign where his wife, Michelle, made remarks about his homeland being Kenya. I mean, they're laughing at us right now, and it's up to the American public to put their feet down and stand firm. Now, the recent election showed that there's a big effort going on to dump, incumbents in Washington, and we have to get that message out. We want to dump Obama. Our court case is still pending, which is good, but the courts are taking their time and they're protecting. But the American citizens, we the people, as the Constitution says, deserve to know the truth. We the people deserve to have someone in the White House who is constitutionally eligible to be there. And Obama really is hurting us by his actions. The passing of the health care bill is blatantly unconstitutional. Now he's stating that the law in Arizona, they're questioning that. The law in Arizona only backs up what the policy is of the United States of America. And the Mexican president was right here at the White House and then goes to Congress, and he criticizes the Arizona law when the immigration laws in Mexico are much stricter than we have here in the United States. If someone comes in from the south, from Guatemala or something, to go through Mexico to try to get to the United States and they're caught, they're sent back. They're not allowed to work. I mean, it's do as I say, not as, this is ridiculous. The Mexican president and Obama going along with it, criticizing the policies of Arizona or criticizing the United States when Mexico is much harder and does not tolerate any of this. Here's we have sealed our borders. We have to seal our borders. It's really amazing, what's going on. I mean, seal the borders. We're against it, but there's people in countries around the world who are on lists waiting legitimately to come to the United States, but because of quotas they can't get here. Meanwhile, the borders are wide open, and then we worry about how terrorists get into our country or how they may get into our country. They can just come through Mexico. But the big issue is we, the people, deserve to know the truth. Obama's a fraud. He's a phony. Please look at our website, which is obamacrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com. Help us right now raise the money so we can advertise this march gathering in Washington to be the largest ever in Washington, because there's nothing more important, listeners out there, than the U.S. Constitution. And this is so, so important. I mean, right now, we're letting them get away with all kinds of things in Washington, and it's outrageous. And they are slowly taking away each of your rights. once your rights are taken away, they don't come back. We're not going to get them back. And Obama is laughing at us. This health care bill, now the costs are showing it's extremely higher than what he discussed. Also, there was no cost factors built into this. So someone who's not insured, yeah, sure, the new law says you have to be insured, but there's nothing saying how much the insurance company can charge you. But the big thing is the Constitution prohibits this type of thing where you're forcing, the government's trying to force everyone to buy insurance. Take a look at what Obama's doing. Obama is really hurting this country, destroying this country. He wants to make this country, well, I'll leave that up to you, Webster, whether it's communist, Marxist, socialism, whatever it is, but it's
the fascist corporate state, Phil. Historically, no question about it. The Mussolini fascist corporate state.
Right, and that's not, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the United States of America. That's not the republic that we have. That's not what we have existed on for 230 years. And really, the American public, we can stand together in a peaceful revolution, because if not, it might become too late. And I'm not just an alarmist here. I'm just bringing the basic facts to you, and Webster has the details. We have to stand up. Now, there's people in this country ready to get armed and do things. I don't want any shots fired. I want everything to be peaceful, and that's what we can do it. The Tea Party people, they're right there on different issues, and some of the leaders of the Tea Party are trying to take control of the Tea Parties. The Tea Party people should be with us, because even though your leadership doesn't want us, because just think about it, whatever the issue might be, whether it's taxation or whether it's benefits, whatever it might be, it all falls under us. If Obama is, like I believe, a usurper, a phony, a fraud, and then we remove him from office, everything he has done in the past now about 16 months, it becomes, and this is crucial. This is crucial. We, the people, can do something peacefully. And I need to do it is have the largest gathering ever in Washington, D.C., and demand Obama show that he's constitutionally qualified. If we can get the largest gathering ever in Washington, D.C., the major media, which is controlled by Obama, the major media will have to cover this story. It's outrageous. It's outrageous that the major media, and the problem is that we don't have a free press in this country anymore, and that's another taking away of your rights. Do you want to be spoon-fed just what the administration tells them to give you? And that's what's happening right now, because the national media should have done to Obama what they did to Sarah Palin. They should have asked all kinds of questions. If they had, Obama would never have been elected president of the United States. He would not be in that office. So it's up to us, each of us together, to fight together peacefully, to get all your friends and neighbors together, to make a contribution to us so we can advertise this across the country, to attend the event since we announced the date on this, and to make sure that you and your friends and relatives spread the word and come. There's something like within 3 hours' time of Washington, D.C., there's probably 50, 60 million people in this United States of the 308 million people that are out there. We can do this, and we should do this, and we could demand that Obama put up or basically remove himself from office, and we can do it. The American people can do it. We can do it peacefully. We just need everyone's cooperation. So, I appreciate the time, Webster, on your show. I need everyone to go to, after the show's over, to obamacrimes.com. Go on there, check out our website, spread it, look for the date. We'll have the date up soon for a new one. Spread the word to everyone. If everyone would just send us $1, we would have, of course, many, many thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We will advertise this, and we will put up signs around the country that mean something, not the signs that says, where is your birth certificate? The sign should read, Obama, where is your birth certificate? Then people would go home and Google this.
Okay, Phil.
My pleasure.
And remember, whatever you do, send those press releases to Matthews, because he had already freaked out just over the announcement of the earlier march, right? So make sure you keep Chris Matthews informed, because he's absolutely obsessed on this point.
Okay,
we'll see you
great.
next week.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye, and we'll be back just a minute on World Crisis Radio.